Hello, everyone. Madayaw and Shalom. Welcome, welcome. I wanted to show you how I write, how I am writing. So here is um, my writing process. So let me just tell you how I do it. This might not be true for all writers. So for those who write linearly, it's a little different because I don't write in a linear fashion. Let me tell you that. First, I create a basic outline that I may or may not follow, but at least it gives me a general direction. And sometimes, so I do put my whole outline into Gemini or ChatGPT, whichever I feel at the moment, and ask it to look for loopholes, look at it, see where it's missing, and ask questions about it. A lot of people don't like that, but I feel like these AI tools are what it is, a tool. English is not my first language. I just train myself to speak well online, but I don't speak as well as other people. I know that, but I try my hardest. And when I write, because I want to write for a universally accepted market, it has to be in English. So I do need a lot of help. So here I am. For the purpose of this video, I typed it in Google Docs. So most of the time, I do use Microsoft Word to get the distraction away. There will be a podcast or music playing on my phone, and then I just keep typing. So I give myself at least 2 hours a week. So I need to be on my computer 3 or 4 days and at least 30 minutes to write. But sometimes I get lost in the moment, and I do write until, oh my gosh, I've been writing from 7 to midnight. There was the time that I wrote for 2 days straight. I only had bathroom breaks. After 2 days, I hardly ate. I was a mess. I haven't showered, and well, my dogs were complaining, and I'm like, I can't do this. It shouldn't be like this. So I try my best that if I lose myself in the moment, midnight, and that's it. Yeah, sometimes I go overboard, but that's when a story takes over, you see. So when I am writing, it's okay if all the details aren't there yet. I suppose I write how I think. I put the bare bones first, and then I come back to it over and over again. And sometimes, while you're cooking, ironing, showering, sweeping the floor, mopping the floor, something, and then you start to realize, hey, no, you know what? This scene should have been like this, or add to it. And then I go back to my computer when I have the time and then go back to it and fix it. So that's how I write. Now, I know not everything can be perfect. Even AI misses some of the grammatical errors. So if you can see here, I'm already using Google Docs. Plus, I also have Grammarly and Quillbot to help me with my grammar. And sometimes, it's already on Amazon. You go back to your book and see there's still a typo here that all of these programs miss. So that's the thing. These AI programs, they're just tools. Sometimes they miss things. That's the reason why I try my best to go over and over again. And even with your beta readers, and well, so far, unless this book is for a specific release, I have hardly hired an editor lately. That's because I felt like even with an editor, they still miss things. And with 3 AI programs that would help you with your grammar, it misses less than hiring a human editor. I know that's not a popular opinion, but for the purpose of editing, that's how I feel. Now, if it's a developmental editor, now that's different. That's something you can't ask ChatGPT. Believe me, I tried. I tried to train ChatGPT into a developmental editor for me, but not quite. You can ask it particular things, but it just cannot grasp some of the nuance of what you want to happen on a page. I know it, I mean, even humans have a hard time getting what I want to bring out on the page. Even I have a hard time trying to bring out what I really want on a page, like a painting. So it's a hit and miss thing. We have programs to help us and we have humans to help us. So it's impertinent for us to use both humans and AI. Yes, AI does help. It really does help. Um, Humans can spot things, nuances that AI can't, and AI can spot technical things because remember AI is programmed. It does not have a life. You want life into your material. You want people to love your characters. AI can't really do that for you. Sometimes they can pinch on an emotion or two, especially what you see out there. I try to read AI books and stuff. Some of them can get repetitive. Let me tell you that. You don't want that in your book. You don't want repetitive characters. You don't want repetitive scenes. You don't want cliche. And AI will be putting a lot of those because it thinks like, hey, it works for other people. Why can't it work for you? That's one of the downsides, I suppose you could say, about AI. So here I am writing. This is not yet out there, just so you know. So some characters I may have to change names. I'm not too happy with Zebdi the Zealot's name. And I need him to be really crazy. So this might not be done till the end of the year because it is such story that's, I don't know. Some people would say the book is your baby. The book is not my baby. The characters are my baby. They're all my babies. You can see some of these characters recurring. From Care Package Mate, you could see Caleb is back here with his best friend Marcus. So Marcus would have a more central role here. Rafe Red Moon from Resto Rescue also does an appearance. So I want to expand this world. And I'm trying to retype and type everything. I have made an expanded version of Care Package Mate. I felt like Care Package Mate could have had more. I know it's released already on Amazon. It's been there since the pandemic because I wrote it during the pandemic. And I don't want it to be just that. Get it? Caleb has more potential. And I'm not saying this because he's a vampire. It's because I want to expand the lore. I've put up 2 free stories within that world, by the way. You're going to have to look for it in my free books on my website, www.maitaru.com. What I want to do with Caleb is I want him to take a more active role, and which he will be, because I'm actually writing 4 books at the same time. So when I say I'm not writing linearly, I literally am not writing linearly because I want Marcus to have a book, and it should be before Caleb's book because at the start of Caleb's book, Care Package Mate, Marcus is already there and he already has a mate, and they're already trying to help Caleb. I need to show how Marcus got his mate. What's the dynamic between Marcus and Caleb that led to that? Because oh my gosh, this one got the help from my mom because my mom's like, no, you're gonna have to put more bromance into them. I'm like, Mom, yeah, I'm not joking. So mom's like, they're best friends, unrequited love. I'm like, Ma, this guy's so heterosexual. It's and he's ultra conservative. And mom's like, it doesn't have to be like a full-on boyfriend. It's just like the tension of it. Like, oh great, how am I going to put that in here? So I'm having a hard time putting that in there. That's the reason why Marcus's book is only like 20-30% done. Caleb's book I feel like is already done, the rewrite anyways. from a 20,000 word book, it's been expanded to 30. But I feel like, no, if I want an international release and if I want to start pitching this to maybe other publishers, traditional publishers who like paranormal, 30,000 words is just too short. I have to increase it to 70 or 80,000 words. The third installment to this would be Gus's book. Gus, you will see him in Care Package Mate just lurking around in the background. And it's there that I hint that Gus likes big ladies. And he does get a very big lady, but not because she's big. She's because she's awesome. And you know how I like girl power in my book. So Gus's book has already reached 80,000, but it needs a bit more editing. So I might have to cut it down to like 75 to 76,000 words. I love his story because his story just flowed out of my hands like no problem at all. I can think of 100 scenes for Gus because, as I said, he's my baby and I have a lot of things to think for him. However, Caleb's book, I'm having a hard time because I want this character to be special, but a lot of his development actually came after because in Gus's book, he takes on more of Gus's best friend than Marcus's best friend because Marcus is busy running the resort. And Gus's best friend got assigned to the Macau branch. And, you know, so Gus is like lonely because he doesn't have his best friend with him. And he tries to make Caleb into his second best friend. And, you know, well, Caleb's a nice guy. So, yeah. And a lot of things happen in that book. And Rafe comes back in that book. So I want Rafe to have more development other than a hothead. And he's still a hothead, I know, but more development. Get it? This one, what I'm working on, is actually more of not just a one character book. This is more like what the pack on its own becomes a character. So here you've got a lot of central characters. Marcus gets, you know, uh, he's not central figure here, but since he is the alpha of this pack and the CEO of the resort, um, Caleb is really compelled to save his best friend. So Caleb does have a very active role here. Brutus, yes, I know, weird. I called him Brutus because I already named him Brutus 2 books ago. Now I can't like un-Brutus his name. So Brutus is his name, and he gets his own happily ever after. He starts off as such a goofball, and something devastating happens, but he doesn't know about it. And when he does, he goes into depression, and Caleb will try to help him. I know it's such a bromance fest in this book. Nobody's bromance here because I don't have that kind of experience. So, for those asking, why aren't I injecting more LGBTQ in my book? Well, number one, I don't have that experience. Even if I have a lot of friends who are and family members who are, I get that I cannot totally write them in here, maybe just in passing. So you just get hints like random people there. Maybe you don't even know because that's what they are, people. Um, Also, because I try not to promote that, not because I hate you guys. I don't. I love you guys, family and all, and friends. I don't have that. It's just not there. I mean, I can't think of any. You get it? If you don't have that experience, you cannot write it. You try, of course, if you have if you have uh, an idea of it, but in my case, I don't. Very protective Catholic background, and well, sometime later, you know, my dad tried to expose me to his church, and mom tried the same, and now I am thinking of converting to Judaism, and yes, I am pro-Israel. Sorry, guys. It's not about politics. Don't bash me. It's all about Bible. Because suddenly, when I reread the Bible, oh my gosh, when you say living word, it feels like a new chapter. And I feel like I've injected a little of that into Caleb. I know he's a vampire, but he is a conservative type of vampire. So he might not be spewing out Bible characters, but he is a very good person. He believes in heaven, he believes in hell. He's really trying his best to, keep everybody in line and stuff. So I hope I put that here. So his cousin over here, Zebdi, I don't know if I like that name. I just got it randomly out of the air because I can't think of any name. I might change it later. He gets a bit cuckoos because he has an idea of, so Zebdi would be our titular bad guy, not titular, typical bad guy. He's got it in his head that things have to be a certain way. It's not, so he makes trouble for everyone. Everyone has to find him and stop him, and everybody knows vampires are very strong because they have super strength, they have super speed, plus they have their own special talents. So they don't call it magic because in this world, vampires are forbidden to touch magic, especially if it's black magic. And if there's black magic in the vicinity, as a guardian, they have to put that person down, unfortunately. That's their role in life. So now, Caleb here is, well, he knows he has to protect this pack because he loves everybody in this pack because they protected him. Not physically, because he's a vampire, he's the one physically protecting them. Um, More of like emotional protection because vampires can live forever and ever and ever until they, of course, meet their mates or something really bad happens to them or they lose their soul. So um, Caleb's like, I suppose you could say he's the physically strongest among everyone, but that doesn't mean he's like super duper duper, of course. So his friends over here are there to help him. Um, I did write two stories that I am incorporating here. So you will see one of the characters here and, of course, implied what happens in between. Moonlight Eclipse and Dimensional Eclipse will be happening sometime after Gus's book and before this book, which I don't have a title for it yet. So, um, yeah, but the characters there will be here. And just so you know, I wrote another book after this. So when I say I'm writing four books at the same time, the fourth book after this will be about Mr. Vintage. Mr. Vintage, his name, because I also pulled it out of thin air when I was writing not his book. Um, Mr. Vintage is actually introduced in Dimensional Eclipse as Dante's immediate boss. So he's a werewolf under Marcus, and he's just in the background. Even here, he's just in the background because he's not really doing much. He's not one of the big brawlers. He's not a big guy. He's a small guy. So I wrote Mr. Vintage's book, which does not, it stars him, but it's not in his point of view. Get it? Why did I do that? I don't know. I tortured myself. I don't know why I did it. But the idea came while I was in Africa because I cannot sleep because I had jet lag. And then my mom's phone was always on and I can't sleep because of that. And we were roommates and it was driving me crazy. So like 1 in the morning, I was like, I went to the kitchen because we stayed in Airbnbs. I was in the kitchen with my iPad and I just type, 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 type. Whew. Yeah. So last night, for some, I don't know what reason, I started to type another story. Don't worry, it's not a novel. I might just, I don't know where I'm going to put it as an excerpt after the book or something. It will be about Force, Mr. Force's uh, grandson. Okay, so Force will be in this book that is what I'm typing. He's going to be around because Force is the head of security for the resort and he is a werewolf. However, his mate is a swan and all their children are swans. And because he's a werewolf and he lives longer than most, well, let's just say his grandsons are near retirement age while this guy is still not. And one of the grandsons, because of recessive genes, was born a werewolf. And it's tearing him apart because he looks like 17, but he's already 50, and all his brothers are pushing 70 and they're, in retirement. And it's really hard on him because to know that your brothers are going to pass on before you. And he's like, I'm too young to have a family. They have families on their own. It's getting lonely. And so Marcus is like, why don't you just join the pack? Because the pack is like a big, big, big family. So in this book, that's the whole point of it. When I say the pack is like a character of its own, the pack is a character because it strives to hold on to its people. It strives to be a family. Everybody wants the family to be peaceful. Marcus wants to make sure Nina and the kids and everyone are safe, well-fed, well-dressed, and everybody wants to protect Marcus because, he's just a teddy bear. Everybody loves him. Caleb wants to save the pack, and the other vampires are like, you're a vampire. You should be like, not. You should be, become a typical vampire, whatever that means. So even it's like, it's a typical vampire, a loner? I'm not a loner. I've lived for the better part of 2 centuries hanging out with these guys. He has businesses that are entwined with the resort. He's got a lot of friends in and out of the resort. He's happy with his life. And then he has a mate, and his mate is so happy with the pack because everybody accepts her, and she's never had a family like that because she came from such a toxic family. If you read it in Care Package Mate, you would see like such a toxic family there. But anyways, so there. This is what I've been working on. I wanted to share with you, but also I wanted to record all this. I know I'm just ranting around here, but well, yes, I am. It's more for me than for anybody. But if anybody's watching this, thank you for watching because these books, they are a product of my imagination. I really want to tell stories that are unusual, but I really want main characters who are strong in their own right, and when they collide, they really make awesome stuff. So thank you for watching, and I hope you watch my other videos. Thanks again, guys. Madayaw, everybody, and shalom.